for it.
10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
How dare you!
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore, your morning dose of creative conversation and coffee with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. Get ready to start your day off right.
There I am. How the heck are you? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a special start time for Nevermore the Furthermore. I will explain twice during the show because I don't want to explain over and over again, but we'll launch into that in a moment. Thank you to everyone who's showing up early right now. I appreciate you all. And whether if you're watching us on rerun, we appreciate you too. Never believe we don't. And we hope we're just as crispy and fresh as we are when you see us live. But please come join us live so you can interact with me. Anyway, I'm Brian K. Morris. And we are starting the show a little bit early. I'll explain soon. But the show, we've got to tell you that we are brought to you today by our two fave-rave sponsors. First of which is Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. And I know you're saying to yourself, "Hey, I've just written this great book, and my words are going to draw people like iron filings to a lodestone." That ain't the truth. I don't know. You should know better. I know better, and so that makes it a truth. What really attracts them to your book initially is a great, great cover, and Plasma Fire Graphics can deliver that and more. They also do the graphics that you need to sell your books on social media, as well as a beautiful book trailer like the one you just saw. And the thing isn't. It's really affordable. I'm telling you, he's got top 3 publisher quality at indie producer prices. So please check in with Jeffrey Hayes. Look at his Facebook page. He's got some more samples, and go to plasmafiregraphics.com where you can contact him directly and ask about his rates. Is he good? Hey, I only have the best for my covers. That's why he did this one. Snow Shorts, number 4 in the Snow Ambition. It's number 4 in the Snow Shorts series. And it's available right now for 99 cents on Amazon. But what a powerful cover. Yeah, Plasma Fire Graphics did that. And they can do one for you. So definitely check them out. You'll be glad you did. And so will your readers, because the look of your book matters to them too. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. We are also brought to you today by our dear friend, Amy Hale. Please check out her work on Smashwords on Amazon and at authoramyhale.com. She's versatile. She's a great wordsmith. Check out the work of Amy Hill. She's also a dear friend. She's also right now, she and her husband are laid up with the My Sharona Miley Cyrus. You definitely want to make that gal happy. She's short, she's sassy, but we want to make her smile. So please pick up one of her books on Amazon or at authoramyhale.com. She's a terrific writer, and you'll be glad she's a part of your collection. Anyway, thank you for sponsoring this episode, Amy. And thank you to our Patreon supporters. We've got a couple more that have just signed up. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where with a small monthly stipend, you can directly support your favorite creators. Now, I posted a blog yesterday, a rather lengthy one that explained why I hadn't posted a blog in almost 3 weeks. But anyway, we've got that. We've got works in progress that these patrons get to see first before anybody else in the universe. And we hope that you'll dig what you see there. If you want to see what rewards I give you for supporting me directly, then go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris and check out the delights therein. And this is not an up-to-date card. It is changing all the time, but we are changing to serve you better. The Rising Tide Broadcast Network has your entertainment and information covered 7 days a week. Michaela Jade this morning did her final morning motivations, which makes me pout, but she's also moving her Friday night show, Tidbits and Scribbles, to Monday night. And soon we're going to have something every weekday morning and every week night, or actually every night now, thanks to Michaela, who is a lifesaver. So anyway, check out the schedule here. Take a screenshot. Also, we haven't included yet from the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, our newest friend in the Rising Tide family here. He's on every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. Now, tonight we've got some cool stuff going. Ted and Chrissy Davies are taking a week off from Drinking with the Davies. They'll be back next week. Michaela will be moving her Tidbits and Scribbles to Monday, and so that means Nicholas Anthony Tockert will have your attention tonight from the confines of his special area with the sentient backdrop that could kill him at any second. But anyway, check out the Historical Fencing Guild tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, because it's awesome, and so are you. And thank you to everyone who has shown up here a little bit early. What's happened is, as you know, Cookie is flying with a busted wing. We got into the doctor this week, and we were expecting her physical therapy to start in a week. We got a call yesterday saying, "Can you come in tomorrow and start the process?" And she said, "Oh, hell yes." And so we have to leave early in order to get that. After that, we'll be on the road. We're heading to Castle Perilous. That's in Carbondale, Illinois, at 207 West Main. We'll be there from 10 to 2 tomorrow and signing, autographing, selling you some books. It's going to be a glorious time, and we hope you'll come and join us. We always have a lot of fun. Scott Thorne is a great host, and we're going to be there for Free Comic Book Day. The nice thing is you come in, you get a few comics, you buy something from the store, you get another comic. You buy something from me, you get another comic. So buying stuff from me will pay off, all right, in so many ways. And anyway, we look forward to seeing you all there. And don't forget also, if you are watching this video, whether it's live or on the rerun, and you like even just for a moment, like what you're seeing or hearing, please give us a thumbs up. If you're on YouTube, give us a like. If you're on Facebook, please like the page you're watching on if you haven't already, as a thank you to our host. Also, if you're watching us on Facebook, please consider subscribing to this channel. We've got some really cool stuff coming up in the next couple weeks. I'm going to start working on it this week, in fact. Let's just say that we've got a replacement show for Michaela if she does get away from the morning motivationals. Just saying. Anyway, folks, we've got a limited time. At the bottom of the hour, I'm going to set this timer here, and when it goes off, I have to go. So, and we are not going to explain why I'm going. So if anyone shows up late, well, why is Brian not going to be here? Why is he on early? Why did I miss the first show? Whine. It's like Ernest and Julio Gallo. Then you can mock them. Those of you who've shown up early, you can mock him with your superior knowledge, but please give a reaction to the show. We really helps us out in many, many ways. And Donna, Carlene, no one else here? Well, it's you, darling. Thank you for showing up. And Carl Witzman mocks her with his laughter. Now with live announcements of the time. It's like WWV radio now. Oh, I love them. I love professional wrestling. And show started early today, Donna, so nobody else is awake yet. Woo, says Donna. I thought I was alone in here. Ace Bot Johnny's joined us, though. Sorry you came in at the end of Comic Book Spectrum last night, my friend. But we had a great discussion. Please check out the rerun from last night. We had a good time talking about a couple Batman books and some horror books and the state of the industry. I think you'll dig what you see there. And it's our first 3-hour one. The time got away from us on that. We're if you don't like 3-hour shows, we're sorry. This week has been my week to be long-winded, I think, or well, because Tuesday night we went for just shy of 5 hours. It's like, what's wrong with me? Don't I have a life? But anyway, good morning. Someone stole my coffee cup from work today. That's a hanging offense. I'm just off down the police station now to look at a few mugshots. I'm seeing Charles Bronson death wish in your immediate future, Ace. I don't blame you. I'd shoot me up for stealing my coffee cup. And Damian Waldron, I'm awake, I swear, pre-coffee and everything. And good morning to you, Damian, who was on TED Talks on Tuesday. I've got to catch the rest of that episode. Great discussion with a very creative guy, and I swear I'm going to get that list to you. I swear I am. And some of those folks have been a punny influence on you. And Carl's stoking the crowd here, and Ace says, does Brian send risque photos if you sign up for his Patreon? If you sign up at the $1,000 level, which isn't posted, it's a secret level. But if you sign up for $1,000, I'll probably come after a couple of months. I'll come to your house and show you personally. You know what I'm saying? But it's like Dracula. You got to invite me in first. I don't do that unsolicited sort of thing. I don't even do it anyway. Eek. Anyway, good morning, all. Hugs. Have a wonderful day. You too. Mwah. Hope you have a wonderful day and an even better weekend. It's so good to see you here. And Carl Westman, will we ever have an up-to-date schedule, Carter? Will we keep adding another show every damn day? Nah. That means the network is growing, Carl, and you're a part of it. Check out the Ted and Carl Cigar Show from yesterday. Always a good time. Always a good time. Even if you don't smoke, just watch the repartee between those two. It is fun. It really is. And only at the higher levels, Ace, and worth the money. Damien would know. And Donna Carly, wow, small group this morning. There's usually more just waiting. Well, we started earlier, so that's okay. And if you haven't seen one of the hysterical Fencing Guild episodes, you're missing a hilarious show with random facts about swords, scythes, and axes, and backdrops that attack at will. And also every now and then, a person that knocks on his door knowing he's on the air. Hey, I come to visit. So Nick puts him to work. Well, we've had some people drop in on this show when we used to have our recording area downstairs. But they all did it with permission. They all let me know that, hey, I'm coming over. So, of course, if Cookie intercepts the message, she doesn't tell me. It's like, hey, Brian, look, someone's at the door. It's like, next thing I know, it's like, I've got guest stars, which is cool. Occasionally we do have guest stars on the morning show. But anyway, Damien Walburn says, think Venus on the half shell. Oh, Damien, you would be alarmed to know how often I think of that. And it's like a breath of fresh air, Donna. Yeah. And wonders who's going to understand the Gallo reference. Probably you, me, and Carl. That's it. Or Brian on the half shell. It could happen. I'm only 3 hours away from you, Damien. And stoking the crowd is my specialty. I should have been a Tumblr, that comedian that warms up the crowd for featured entertainer. Yeah, that's right. You'd be great. Carl wants to be a stand-up comic. Although I think he's finally realized how much work it is. But that's not what retirement is for. But anyway, check out his secret humor group. You got to ask to get in. You got to know someone who's in there. And you must be totally unoffendable. And don't forget, tonight is the green room. I will try to show up. I've got dinner with Rick Bradley tonight. And then back to my motel room. And then Mark Lerner, greetings from the prairie. Mark, always a pleasure, my friend. Hope your week is going well, dude. By the way, if you're wondering, Daphne called me. Okay, so I'm up to speed on that. And all that standing, sheesh, I'll be a sit-down comedian. Well, who was it? Wasn't it Shelley Berman used to have a bar stool? And Bob Newhart used to do a lot of their stuff just sitting down, which at my age sounds pretty good. Any job I can do in a chair, that's fine with me. But no, it's I'm glad everyone showed up. And let's see. Oh, I gotta do this. And we're starting. Okay. It is a timer. This will go off at 10:30. And when it does, I have to leave. All right. Ace Bonnie. Kara is my favorite VIP guest on this show. Hey, she knows. It is no secret that Kara is perved by me. And then she has a standing invitation. She's one of a handful of people. They've got a standing invitation. If they tell me I want to be on the show, they will be on the show. Because Kara, I make no secret also of the fact that I think her best feature is her brain. She's funny, she's intelligent, she's snarky. She puts up with me for some reason, but I think she's absolutely amazing. She's just a great human being, and I love having her on the show. And I'm glad to hear other people do too. I think she's funny as hell. Okay, wow. End of comments. Okay, a serious question about writing. Please do. Please, I would welcome a serious question about writing. That was part of the reason the show initially was created, not just to stroke my bloated ego, but also to provide some information. One of our best shows, I think, was a few years ago when a gentleman wanted to decided he wanted to write his first novel. And as far as I know, he's still working on it. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but he was working on his novel and wanted to know how to get started. And fortunately, we had about half a dozen writers here, and we schooled the heck out of him, and he was glad. And Carl Wilson says, I'm working on the sequel to Mad Gasser Cheerleader, but I'm really reticent to get back into my villain's mind. Ever have an issue like that? I know what you mean, Carl. I wrote one story in the Haunting Scripts of Bachelors Grove, not the one where I killed someone I knew, but the one before it, the one that took place in the past. Excuse me. And getting into the mindset of the protagonist, for lack of a better definition, was really frightening, because he was kind of like the antithesis of everything I stand for. But I still had to make him somewhat sympathetic, but I had to slip into his mind and also into the possessed girl's mind, which, as bad, as odious as the protagonist's brain was, hers by necessity had to be worse. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Amazon. It's The Haunting Scripts of Bachelors Grove. It's a good book. But anyway, yeah, it is kind of tough. But to get out of it, I would have something that would basically pull me out. And I would do it as quickly as possible, before I talk to Cookie or whatever, or to you guys. I would have, like, say, a very positive book nearby, one that I knew was good, and I was getting into. So dropping what I was doing and reading that would not be bad. Also, watching a lot of upbeat YouTube videos, or listening or watching YouTube videos with music, where I would have to get into the song and pull my head out. It's kind of like an earworm for me, where somebody mentions a song. I'll give you the answer. Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka. And who is here but my personal ooga chaka darling? Thank you, honey. We're talking about earworms, and so I just gave him one. Thank you.
You're a bastard.
Yes, I am a bastard.
Funny bastard, but a bastard.
That'll be my new tagline for the show. You're a bastard, but you're a funny bastard. Cookie Morris. Thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that ringing and unsolicited endorsement. If I knew it was going to be like, I wouldn't solicited it either. But anyway. So yeah, I have something on hand to pull you out. But like I started the Ooga Chaka. And what?
I'm going to see how you're going to get out of the Ooga Chaka.
Okay, here's how you get out of the Ooga Chaka. Now that you have Hooked on a Feeling by Blue Sweet in your head.
Smoke on the Water?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So now you're thinking Smoke on the Water.
Well, I was thinking Babe. I got you, Babe.
That's a little different. It's real light and airy, and this ain't Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. Ain't light and airy. In fact, there's a fire in there. And they mentioned Frank Zappa. Fire. Kill it with fire. Anyway, thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome. Drink coffee.
Yes, dear. And the timer is going.
Okay.
54:04. So yeah, but anyway, but that's how I do it, Carl. It's like an earworm. Distract your inner brain with something else, but something positive, and see if that doesn't work. If not, let's keep working on this, okay? And we always like working with Glenn Fleming, who I loved his Hatch short story in Indie Volt Revolt. It was glorious. And Brian, I was on Willow shows the other day. I had a great time. Well, I'm glad to hear that, sir. And also, Glenn will be recurring. He will be coming back to Clever Title Pending in the immediate future because we love the guy. He's great, and it was a good show, Glenn. Yeah, cool. I got to go back and watch it. I've got a new gig. I'm an editor now for Prose Press, and I've been given a novel. And I lost some time yesterday, so of course the next 2 days are gonna be a wash, but we're gonna try to get through it. It's gonna be fun. It's a fun gig so far. And Damien Waldron, I'm a decent plotter, but have no drive to write. How do I entice writers to write for me? Pay them. Damien, actually, the thing is, writing, like designing toys, like designing web pages, is a teachable skill. And if you have a minor command of the English language, which you do, your posts are very, very well put together, frequently better than mine. I'm a writer. But actually, it's just a matter of, setting your ideas down. Now, one thing that hung me up for longer works, I can do short stories, but doing long form like novels eluded me until like almost 10 years ago, when Mark Lerner gave me a seed of an idea, and Mark hadn't written a novel by then. He's working on his first one now, and I'm so proud of him. It's going to be good. I've read some of it so far. But anyway, start small. Start out with your idea. Start out with the elevator pitch. And for those of you who don't know, an elevator pitch, here's the scenario. You're in an elevator. Suddenly the car stops. The doors open. Steven Spielberg walks in. Now here's a guy. If he digs what you do, you're in. I mean, look at all the various properties he's produced and or directed over the years, and turned the creator of the source material into a big name, right? Think Ready Player One, for instance. Excuse me. But he smiles pleasantly, nods, and then pushes the button for the next floor. You have until the doors open on the next floor this is your only chance. You know that you'll never see this Steven Spielberg again. The doors close. You have time to say, hi, introduce your name, and could I tell you I have a story idea I think you may enjoy. And then you tell him in 2 sentences, 2 breaths. Now you're saying, I can't condense my story into 2 sentences. Here's the example I always give, Damien. In the 19th century, a young man joins a whaling vessel and discovers a new way of life. However, the insane ship's captain is determined to destroy the white whale that took his leg, even if it means the life of his crew. I've just described Moby Dick by Herman Melville in 2 sentences, one of the greatest novels in the English language. And probably you're thinking right now, why didn't my high school English teacher describe that book to me that way? I'd have read it. Because it is a good book. But you start with that. And then I always steer people to something called Lester Dent's Master Plot. Lester Dent was the creator of many characters during the pulp age of writing, including Doc Savage, who was one of the precursors to Superman, and has inspired generations of adventure writers, including myself. And it was a 4-part way to construct a story. Every time he used it, he sold that story. I have done the same with that thing. So between those, and it helps you flesh out your plot so that you know when to put in plot twists. Do the thing like Henrik Ibsen used to say, not Henry Gibson from Laughing, but Henrik Ibsen. He used to say something to the extent of, if you have an actor on stage pull out a gun in Act 3, you better have shown the audience he has it in Act 1. He teaches foreshadowing, or go to warrenmurphy.com. And I think it's still there, but the late Warren Murphy had a great 12-part series on how to write your first novel. And I used it when I wrote my first novel. So that is a good thing. And Damien, what you can also do if you have problems, you know where to find me, brother. Talk to me. I'm glad to help. And Teresa Dunn, mwah, good morning to you, darling. Hope you're doing well. And I'm an artist, but plotting is in my wheelhouse. Well, that's the thing. Look at somebody like Jack Kirby or Steve Ditko. Say what you will about them as far as dialogue goes, but as far as their storytelling ability, they are, two of the, top people in the entire history of comics. Will Eisner was a great writer, and look at him. He could plot out a story. And there was a guy, look how versatile he was. He could, the spirit sections alone, that should be required reading for every comic creator, because like in 8 pages, he could tell an entire story and make you care about it. There's one story about a man who discovered he could fly. And other than that, he was a nebbish. He was a nobody. But anytime he tried to show anyone, they got distracted, couldn't see. So he decided he was going to learn to fly, or not, he knew how to fly, but he was going to do it where around the Empire State Building, everyone could see it. But unfortunately, there's a crime going on, and the spirit is trying to capture the villains, and it's very bittersweet. But he could also do science fiction the next week. The next week might be an allegory for life. He was just such a versatile writer. But those guys, especially like Ditko and Kirby in this case, their scripting was not as tight, not as vibrant, I would say, as some of the people they worked with, such as Stan Lee, or Michael Fleischer, or Joe Simon, or whoever you want to pair them up with, or Roger Stern. They had that special gift of language that paired with a great visual artist. That is when comics work at their best. When 50% or more of the storytelling is done through the visuals, but the nuance is delivered by the writer. Think of the Fantastic Four. Each one of the four had a distinct personality that you might not have gotten from just Kirby's amazing artwork. You'd have gotten it from Stan Lee's evocative prose. And this is a guy that his favorite author was Shakespeare, so that gives you a clue. But Damien, we could talk about that. And thanks, Carl, says Glenn Fleming. And Kara is how I found the show, and it was all downhill after that. Yeah, but Ace, you know who to blame now. Kara, my life was okay till you introduced me to that Morris guy. God. And Glenn Fleming says, Damien, you find a Stan Lee, plot and draw your pages with notes and let the scripter loose. Yes. Well, not lose, but loose. Well, yeah, and there are some I'm finding more and more writers. Well, they're, like me, when I write a script for an artist, I do the visuals first. That way I know it's not just talking heads, as much as I love David Byrne. But it's, that you let the visuals tell their half of the story. Let them do the work, right? And that's what comics do so incredibly well. That's why it's easier for artists to get work in the comics industry than it is writers, because you can look at a piece of artwork and know whether it works on an instinctive level for most people. Although it's surprising how many people don't know how to read comics, because it is kind of a different kind of reading language. But anyway, yeah, definitely find a Stan Lee who can turn your drawings into something, more than what you present. Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, Roy Thomas and John Buscema, Roy Thomas and Barry Smith, the classic first couple of years of Conan the Barbarian. Jim, let's see, although they didn't do it Marvel style, but Michael Fleischer and Jim Aparo were a great team too. Just find your writer. We could talk about how you could do that. Approach somebody whose work you respect. And if they're too busy or, can't come to financial terms with you, maybe they can recommend someone who can work with you, okay? And that's good advice, Brian. Thanks. Well, thank you, Carl. I hope it helps. And if it doesn't, we'll try something else, right? And oops, I knew what you were saying, Glenn. I speak fluent autocorrect, so we're good at that. Thank you. But thank you for the clarification. And good morning to the Ninja Gango. Always a pleasure to have you here, my friend. I've done that before, Glenn, to positive results. We'll see. Now you know it works. And there are some artists who, like I said, are strong plotters. Again, I'm using Ditko and Kirby as the main examples because they wrote a lot of their own stuff during their careers. But some of their best stuff is probably done in tandem with other writers. In fact, I think it's amazing. Glenn can probably correct me on this, but I'm thinking it's Amazing Spider-Man number 32. Stan Lee during the Marvel Age would just type out a plot line that he would talk over with the artist, and he'd type out a plot line that the artist would then interpret at their own pace. That's why he could give one of these sheets to like a Jack Kirby or a Steve Ditko or a Gene Colan or John Buscema and get 4 different results. Okay. Well, what, you know, kind of lost my track of where I was going with this. But the thing is, you know, he could take, you know, their art then, and then he would add his words and make them, you know, just absolutely soar above standard stuff. But it was the visuals that were laid down first that in turn then inspired the writer. I also remember that Doug Minch, who did a beautiful run of the original Master of Kung Fu, he would do his plot for a script, and he'd even put in dialogue, but then he'd get the art back and he would change things accordingly. You know, you and your partner will find a way to do your thing together. So definitely, you know, reach out to somebody. Again, find somebody you respect and reach out to them and see if you can do business. Or like what they used to do at Marvel is they'd have a one page of art or 2 maybe, and then they'd give it to the writer as a test to see what their dialogue looked like. That's how Roy Thomas got hired, Danny O'Neill, Gary Friedrich, a lot of the early Marvel people. You know, and now the thing is, comics are virtually impossible to get into at the top levels because there's so many people that want in there. But you've got to produce work to get their notice and to show that you can do the work on a regular basis. Ace Bonnie is, I'm thinking Ramble On Led Zeppelin. Oh my God, yes. Oh, that's a wonderful song. Was it yesterday I read from iHeartRadio, they have a thing, why this date matters in rock and roll history. And I think yesterday was the first day, the anniversary of the first day in 1968, when the 4 members of Led Zeppelin sat down in the studio and played, just basically to hone their sound. And it was, the train kept rolling all night long. And hey, yo, Pops Van Zandt, how you doing, brother? And CromCon Europe and Madness Art Auction, August 28th and 29th. It is going to be awesome. Then we all got to be there, sir, don't we? Anyway, good to see you, Pops. And Michaela, mwah, hey to you, darling. Good to see you. And Frog G, good morning to you. Welcome to the show from YouTube. And a good elevator pitch works on so many levels. Yeah. In fact, I get a lot of people that want to tell me their story. First off, my first thought is tell them to shut up. One, for legal reasons, I shouldn't be listening, because what if I write a story that's similar? I'm opening myself up to litigation. But also, a lot of people, it's like, you know, tell me about your D&D character. And there you are for the next half hour. You can't get a word in. I made that mistake one day, and I'm a D&D player from back in the day. And the thing is, this person was telling me he wanted to write a story, and I said, "What's it about?" And he was like, "Well, it's, you know, God, the gods are you know, mighty titans, and all of my characters start at, you know, 20,000 points, and this happens, or, you know, these are the qualities of God." I'm like, "Where's the story? You know, whose viewpoint is it being told from?" "Oh, that doesn't matter." And I said, "Then you don't have a story. You just have a series of vignettes. You have a bunch of character sketches and nowhere for them to go." And it almost wound up getting ugly there. But yeah, elevator pitch is great. That, like, when people want to tell me their ideas and I say it's okay, I want to hear an elevator pitch. I had somebody from a show almost 2 years ago that wanted to be in comics, and they had this idea, and I said, "Okay, give me an elevator pitch." And they go, "Well, I don't do elevator pitches." And I said, "The thing is, the elevator pitch shows me you've got a story. If you can boil it down to 2 sentences and make me want to buy it, then you've got a great story." A group of 4 adventurers go into space and are irradiated, but each gets a unique special superpower. As a family, they go out discovering new worlds, exploring new dimensions, and keeping the Earth safe. That's the Fantastic Four. Early Thor is a mild-mannered lame physician finds a cane that when he strikes it on the ground, he becomes the Norse thunder god. and discovers a brand new dimension as his memories return. And he finds out that he truly is the god Thor. You know, young man is bitten by a radioactive spider, you know, or even, you know, like some of the classic introductions, you know, faster than the speeding bullet, more powerful than the locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in single bounds. You know, Superman, was it, you know, or the latter part of that, Superman, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way. That's all you need to know about him. So anyway, yeah, elevator pitches, I believe in them. But anyway, this other person was like, with the comic idea, was like, I can't boil mine down. I said, then you really need to find that story there. You need to find that thing that makes me as excited to know about your idea as you are. I haven't heard from him since. Anyway, it's the Mama of Morning, the motivational Maven Michaela. Oh, marvelous alliteration there, my friend. And Hail Frog Jesus, says Comic Talk. And yes, Frog, I often use the elevator pitch on the back of the book too. Yeah, seriously. Because if you get that elevator pitch, you've got half of your advertising copy written. Now, that pitch may change as you develop your work. But yeah, it's, you know, you don't know how much work I have gotten from other publishers by being able to boil down my story down to 2 sentences. See? And then I get this really great compliment where they say, Brian, could you tell us more? I'm interested. So, and Hale pops. Oh, yeah. And speaking of Hale, I talked to Amy Hale yesterday. She and John are feeling a little bit better. There's not much more than that I can say. I'll check in with them again probably today or tomorrow, but they are feeling a little bit better. As everyone or most people, viewers of the show know, they both contracted the coronavirus following the Superman celebration. So we're not out of the woods yet, kids. In fact, I went into a place yesterday where they had been, you know, like a lot of businesses are in the area. They were, it was Dick's Sporting Goods. In fact, we had to walk through there to get into the mall, our local mall, and they had a thing. You put on a mask if you want to come in here, regardless of your vaccination status. If we don't get a lockdown on this virus, we are in the new normal. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it used to be that, and my morning editorial on this, I feel so strongly about this. I had a friend die from it. I've got another friend who, after more than a year and a half, he still doesn't have his sense of smell or taste back. And he's, you know, he has days where he's very athletic and he's weak as a kitten some days. So if that sort of stuff doesn't get you fired up, you don't have a human soul, you know, and you're welcome to unfriend me. I hate saying that, but you're welcome to leave. But it's not a matter, and Pops, I know how you feel about it, but I'm going on. This is my stand. I agree with yours too. I see where you're coming from. But the thing is, it's not about personal liberties. Your personal liberties end when it affects other people. Look at free speech. It's only free as long as you're not telling lies about somebody or trying to start a panic. You know, the old thing about, you know, screaming fire in a crowded theater when there's no fire. But anyway, Eric Hawkins, good morning to you. I'm ending it now. Pops, don't even start typing. Erase it. Anyway, Eric Hawkins, good morning, folks. Eric, I'm going out in about an hour and a half, and we're going to see if we got that thing for you. I'll let you know if I do. I hope I do. It looks good. I haven't even gotten it out of the shrink wrap yet. Anyway, hope you tuned into last night's Comic Book Spectrum where Eric and Brian Rodman and Clyde Hall and I discussed comic books. And we had a good time. It was 3 hours of a good time. Hope you did well with your drawing show afterwards. Ace Bonnie, elevator pitch, second floor, hardware, children's wear, ladies lingerie. Oh, good morning, Mr. Tyler. Going down. There's a line there. I can't say it. Anyway, or I won't. Anyway, yeah. Well, if Mr. Tyler's important, you've got 30 seconds to get his attention. Mikhail Jaden said, and then there's me. I don't plot at all. I let the characters play. I just write up the incident report. That's a great way to say it. That's beautiful, Michaela. But she's a great writer. And, we all got our methods. I plot my stuff out, but I always change it. I finally figured out why I don't stick to my outline. I think it's like about 2/3 of the way through. I think, you know what? This is logical, but I need to do something somewhat illogical to keep the reader interested. And if I can predict what's happening, even though I'm the guy who put it there, I need to change it so it's a little more wild. And I started doing that with Volcana. In fact, I started early. It's like, oh, this is going too well. Let's swap this incident out. Of course, then you have to replot the rest of your story to see how it influences it. But it's kind of weird because rarely does it change my endings, but it does change a lot on how I get to it. So, but we've all got our various ways of working. Michaela's is incredibly successful. Check out her Warriors trilogy on Amazon today. And Ace Bonnie, me personally, I love when the art does the storytelling in comics. Oh yeah, Ace, and we've talked about this on this show in Comic Book Spectrum, where like G.I. Joe 22, where I remember the point I was going to make earlier. I'll get back to it. But G.I. Joe 22, it's wordless. It's absolutely wordless, but it's following Snake Eyes on a mission. And it's some of the most engrossing comics I've ever read in my life. It is beautiful stuff. No, what I was going to say is the cooperation between artist and writer. I think it's Amazing Spider-Man 32. The plot is Aunt May was hurt. And so Peter Parker gives her a blood transfusion. Not remembering his blood is radioactive. And so she's getting worse. And so he gets wind of something that might be able to cure her, to eliminate the radioactivity in her bloodstream. And why is it gives him powers, but it's about to kill his aunt? Anyway, but he finds out that this compound is being held by Dr. Octopus. So, of course, Spider-Man finds Octopus, grabs the stuff, but before he does, they have a knockdown, drag out, and Dr. Octopus basically pulls down the building on the guy. Water starts flowing because it's underground. It's underwater. It's like a little base under the river. And the next issue opens up with Spider-Man down there. Now, Stan Lee told Steve Ditko, Spider-Man pushes his way out from under the rubble and starts the rest of the comic. And he intended it to be like a page, like the splash page, then maybe a page more. And then they got the other 23 or so to play with. Steve Ditko extended this into a 5-6 page sequence where Spider-Man is pushing up against the rubble, but it's too much and he falls down. The rubble comes down. The water comes in faster. And he's thinking, and he has this thing where I couldn't save Uncle Ben. Now I can't save myself. And Aunt May, I've doomed her to a horrible death with my own blood. And it's like, maybe I should just let the water take me. Maybe I should let this thing crush me. Everybody's life would be so much better. I don't have any friends. I don't have a girlfriend. Because of Spider-Man, I'm constantly on the go. My J. Jonah Jameson hates my alter ego and doesn't think much of me anyway. Maybe I should just let the water take me. And then he's like, no, wait a minute. I've got to avenge Uncle Ben. I've got to save my aunt. And so he, with a great effort, he pushes up against the building, and Ditko ends it with this giant full-page thing where Spider-Man just throws the rubble up over his shoulder, and that's some of the best 6 pages in comics you're going to read outside of Will Eisner. And anyway, good. Let's see. Oh, okay. And I got notice I've got messages on Facebook. Gee, that's a novelty. And good morning to you, the Ninja Genko. Always a pleasure. Rick Bradley, I will see you tonight, sir. Hope you're doing well. Mikhail Jade. And so there's no confusion. I just meant MM is over for the week. Oh, okay. You're still doing the more motivationals. Okay, good. I was a little confused by the way you worded the end of that. I thought, well, she's done. I love those movies. I may not get to them until like late afternoon, but I'm like, yeah, she's right. I need this. And Damian Waldron, thanks, Brian. Good advice, and I'll be messaging you for sure. Please do, Damian. You're part of the family now. And you might want to post that, Michaela. I think someone else thought you meant forever. Yeah, and I think that reaction on your YouTube page kind of threw me too. That's what I get for following his lead. It never keeps me out of trouble. And Glenn Fleming, thanks for your push on Hatch, Brian. Speaking of Hatch, I just finished my promo video for my new Kirby film book, Standby. People, definitely. Glenn, if you're listening, when you get that done, if it's StreamYard friendly, would you shoot me a copy and I'll add it to my end of the show rotation? And Joe Dog McKeel only posts today. All hope all goes well. Have a safe trip. Thank you, Joe Dog. It's all positive, man. If you heard what I said earlier, and we will say it again, but at the end of the show in 29 minutes. And Angie Deuce, good morning, everyone. Mwah, Angie, hope you and Grant are looking forward to a great weekend. And Rick Bradley says, if you ask me about my D&D character, my response would be, which one? Yeah, that's also a danger. And everyone's saying hello and getting helloed by Pops Van Zant. Masters of the Universe, the original cartoon intro was an elevator pitch, if you think about it. Yeah, so was the introduction to the $6 Million Man. Steve Austin, a man barely alive. We can rebuild him. We can make him. We have the capability to create the world's first bionic man. Faster, stronger, better than he was before. What more do you need to know to get into the show? And then pick up the rest of it as you go. But, those are some of the best introductions. Or you look at Batman, the 66 Batman, you see the Batmobile, you see Batman and Robin running into danger, beating up all the Gotham Bat guys, and then shaking hands because that's their chums. And, that's, what more do you need to know? Or, hey, we're the monkeys. People say we monkey around, but we're too busy singing to put anybody down. We're just trying to be friendly. Come and watch us sing and play. We're the young generation, and we've got something to say. See? That's exposition is painless exposition is sometimes a lost art, that's something we have in writing is called the info dump. And that's what's another danger when you don't listen to elevator pitches. You get, it's like, well, when he turned 3, he realized he was left-handed. And so he started using the red crayon in one hand, but the burnt sienna in the other. Now the burnt sienna crayon was this long, but the red one is this long because of this. And one had a wrapper. And I was like, I don't need to know that stuff. Respect my time, and as I respect yours. Brian, you just gave me another idea for Tidbits and Scribbles coming soon. Elevator pitch your story. That'd be cool. That'd be great. That'd be wonderful. And if you ever want a live companion on there, I volunteer my services. And how dare you, GI 22, grr 21. Oh, 21. Excuse me, I was one off. My apologies, Eric. I am sorry that I got the number wrong.
How dare you?
It was my fault, and sorry, Greta. But I will atone later. I will hopefully pick up 15 books and carry them around. Skunk Cracker, what the hell's going on? When did this start? I announced last night it would start early, and then I started 15 minutes before that, so everyone had a chance. But Skunk, good morning. And about 40 minutes ago, Skunk, and yeah, apparently I wasn't giving anyone notice about that. Anyone told he was going to start early today? I missed part of the show now. It was in the thing I posted last night, Skunk, so that I would start at 9:30 rather than our usual 10. We will be back at our regular 10 o'clock schedule next week. But Skunk, you can't get too mad. I'm taking Cookie to physical therapy today. Okay, I said I'd do it twice. So we've just used the second one because I didn't want some people, and who they might be, coming in. Well, why is he here? Why? Well, and I'm sorry it was Skunk that did it, but it's like why is he here? Why is he early? Why did I miss stuff? Why isn't he live? Why is he reading my stuff? See, but this way I catch up to your stuff faster, Skunk. See, there is a benefit. All right. Angie Dudas Grant is working on a con all weekend. Yes, we've been sending out number 2 of Beowulf for the best few days. Hope everyone enjoys it. I know we will. Well, good for him. Good for that. And I hope you guys have a good time. I will be in Carbondale, Illinois tomorrow, the 14th. And I'll be at Castle Perilous at 207 West Main in Carbondale, Illinois, just a few minutes from the Southern Illinois University campus. But it's the best, in my opinion, the best comic shop and gaming emporium in the whole of Southern Illinois. And thank you to Scott Thorne for inviting me in. I will be there with Cookie. You can meet the fabulous Cookie. And she and I will have new product for you that you have not seen before, including Pulp Reality. We're running low on that. I better get some more. From Charles F. Millhouse. Go to Stormgate Press or Amazon if you don't have yours already. And the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Good morning, Nevermorians. Look like you are setting up for a glorious rant on the elevator pitches. Yeah, I do. I seriously believe in them. I really do. if for no other reason, you don't waste so much of your time pitching, and the person you're listening to isn't stuck in the middle of a god-long explanation. I have been there. I don't like it. And it's one of those things that if you can't entice me in 30 seconds, speaking for 5 minutes isn't going to make it sound any sexier. So, and speaking of sexy, there is my dear Sarah. Sarah, glad to see you as always. Mwah, morning, got to head to Mattoon in half an hour, but you'll be riding on my lap on the way there. I promise to take every full advantage of the view. Anyway, thank you for the honor, my dear Sarah. And we'll talk to you later. It was late when I got your messages last night, but we'll reply. And hopefully get to see you tomorrow. That would be nice. And Rick Riley, young Marvin goes on a cross-country trip and gets more than he bargained for when he stops in a little town for apple pie. Soon he fights for his very sanity against an ancient evil. Holy crap. How can, oh my God. Marvin's Night Out by Rick Bradley, available now on Amazon. Seriously, serious, good copy. I'm telling you. Excellent. Good work, Rick. And Glenn Fleming says, Brian, I've got the promo to your email. It's there right now. Okay, excellent. I will take care of it this weekend. I will try to upload it to all my folders here. And thank you, Glenn. Thank you. Pops Van Zandt is about your doctor's advice, not any talking heads. Thank you. In fact, I've said this often. There is a channel on YouTube that I love. I get great medical advice. Because I got issues. I got volumes actually at 65. But he said if you have any concerns about the coronavirus or anything, because a number of us, and I include myself, I was nervous about getting the vaccine because I had a very bad reaction for the first time in my life to the flu vaccine just a couple months prior. And the thing is, this Dr. Mike, who's a very young guy, a lot of fun, but great advice. He said, and he was counseling a man who's 80, I think it was his grandmother. His 80-year-old grandmother was terrified to get the thing because she had been on YouTube and she, heard that it was going to affect her 5G, her 5G reception. It was going to put government trackers in her. It was going to destroy her immune system. It would actually give her the COVID because they were shooting live germs into her. And Dr. Mike said, don't trust anyone on the internet. If you have medical questions, go to your family physician, your general practitioner, or even better, go to their nurse, because they have more contact usually with the public and they are better at explaining things. So don't talk to some, Alex Jones type who's thinking this is all a conspiracy. Go to a trained professional and get their advice, okay? And definitely for tomorrow. And no worries about an immediate response. I know you're super busy, and I love you too, sweetheart. And I know you're busy too, and I love you. And we will, we'll give you a shout when we're within, when we get real close to your 20. Okay, good buddy. Anyway, Skunk Rocker says, I didn't see it. I didn't get home last night from work until 8:45. Dude, I posted it last night after Comic Book Spectrum, which meant I got the thing on the, it was about 11 o'clock Eastern time when I put it up. So sorry, I can't help that you didn't see it. And Jake Lindsay says there will always be viruses when the new Earth is here and there will be no more viruses. Okay, I'll take that. But actually, if you talk to and you're right about the first part, if you go to the CDC website, the Center for Disease Control, they said, there is a new, virus every couple of years now. And the thing is, if people had been more aggressive about getting the vaccine, we might have this under control. The variants come from people who aren't vaccinated. That's how germs mutate. But through vaccination, that is why polio is considered a dead virus. Now it still exists in other places, but the number of people who have it is so small now, it is statistically insignificant. When I was young, polio was a definite scare. It really was. It wasn't until like I was in school for just a few years, that polio would really come under control, but it was from people getting the vaccine, people getting the anti serum, whatever you want to call it. We got on little sugar cubes, and I liked it. But it's one of those things where we got to do our part, each and every one of us. Anyway, the Historical Fencing Guild says no good deed goes unpunished when 4 strangers run afoul of that's a good start. Yeah, that's a great start. Eric Hawkins, did you just say a guy on the internet said don't trust anything on the internet? That's how you know it's true, Eric. Because if a guy's saying don't trust me, I trust him to. It's one of those. I think it's one of those things like everything she says is the truth, but everything she says is the lie. Now, which one do you have to get through? Just figure everyone on the internet is lying, including me. Okay, and then do your research, and you'll find out I'm right. And 10-4, good buddy. I love it when you got your ears on, darling. And Comics Talk Podcast saying, as long as the southern border is wide open, I do believe they care at all. COVID walks across the border freely. It is harder to get into a restaurant in New York than it is to get into our country. Yeah, but New York is like 1,000 miles away from the Mexican border, dude. And it's not just Mexico. That is why there is such a push right now to get vaccines into underdeveloped nations. India, it's like the variants that we're dealing with, the Delta primarily, did not start in Mexico. It started, God, where was it? Had the name a moment ago. It was like, I want to say in Africa. But there's a lot of people that don't have access to information like we do. One variant started in London, in Great Britain. So it's places, and up till recently, Great Britain could be better at getting the things going. Not everybody can be Australia. Australia's leader is a boss. But anyway, it's just different, things going into this. But the thing is, now we've got to play defense. We've got to play defense and hard. That's the way it works. And CDC ignores the border. Doesn't that bug you? The border isn't CDC's concern. That's immigration. So that's a whole nother argument I ain't getting into on this show. And I got iMovie and we'll make art videos. Good for you, Philip Thompson. That's good news. See, you're learning more skills as a creator. This is always good. And why should you avoid discussing coffee around sensitive people? It can lead to a really heated, strong debate. The stronger, the better with coffee. There is no debate about coffee. We're totally for it. And I'm not going to say all of it, but when this earth is destroyed, there'll be a new earth with no more diseases, no more pain. I'm looking forward to it. And my EP from Damien Waldron, an orphan teen, his holographic companion, uses innate ability to travel between dimensions to find his lost family. What mysteries await him among the myriad worlds of the omniverse? That's very cool. That's something as a writer I could start with, because then I'm now asking, how did he get his powers? What are his weaknesses? What are his main strengths? What quirks does he have? This is where, you see, now just that, and I'm already at work. I'm already on the job, plotting ahead. So yeah, this works. And elevator pitches are easier when my thumbs are not dumb. I've got the same problem. That's why, I found a program that actually allows me to access my text, and that's how Sarah and I talk. I get to my laptop and I can talk to her on my laptop using that. And good morning, Ted Davies Artistry. Ted, good to see you as always, sir. Always a pleasure to have you here. And Sarah says, my second vaccination is Monday, making sure I have a few days between therapy sessions and a possible adverse reaction for a little bit. Same prep that you did for the first one. Hydrate and a snack. Okay, that'll help you so much. And Michaela Jade says, yes, and practice that elevator pitch so you don't flub and you sound confident, because that's how you sell people at shows. I've actually had people hug me because I gave them an elevator pitch. When a Nazi in steam-driven armor kidnaps the great scientists of North America, planning to take them back to Berlin in preparation for the Second Great War, he makes a mistake of kidnapping Alan Turner's uncle. This forces Alan to become the amazing Skyman, two-fisted science detective. I rest my case. And that pitch, my friends, has sold a lot of books. It doesn't matter where I started. It walks really okay. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And that's on them. And that's why we need to vote them all out. And there's a method to my madness. I know, Sarah, and we appreciate your madness, darling. Don't die if you take Cookie to therapy. There we go. And I probably should get therapy too. Anyway, interesting. I've never heard of iMovie. I'll have to look at that. Very cool. Yeah, I think it only works on Apple devices. So if you have an iPhone, a lot of people use it from there, or an iPad. Let's see. And thank you, Jake. I just saw your PM to me. And so, Brian, who do you balance? Okay. And how do you get yourself up as a writer? Asked Philip Thompson. Because I haven't drawn any new characters and create characters with a bad past and use it as an excuse. Get rid of your excuses, Philip. And instead of focusing on the things that hold you back, focus on your goals. You told me one time you want to become the next Stan Lee. Everything you do from this point on should be worked towards that goal. And you should have intermediate goals. You should have little goals that get you closer, but it's not the end point. And give yourself rewards for it too. Like take yourself out to dinner. Let's say you have X number of likes on consistently. Say I need 20 likes on my Instagram post for a solid month. And at the end of that, take yourself out to dinner or something, or buy yourself something that improves your art. Invest in yourself. That's very important. But keep your eyes on the prize. My prize is to bring my wife home from her job. Michaela's is to bring herself home from her job. And if you want to be the next Stan Lee put in a lot of hard writing, a lot of hard years before he became Stan Lee. Okay. He wrote a lot of stuff. He wrote a variety of material, but every time you do this, it makes you a better creator. Philip, and the thing is, do not give up. You can do this, my friend. I have so much faith in you. Okay. I think we all do. And this is, it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight, as you've probably already discovered. So you need to just keep at it, but keep your eye on your ultimate goal, and just have your little goals move you closer to that. It's a process, and you can do this, Philip. I know you can. And Ace Bonnie says, take care, all. Bring Cookie home. Safe travels to you both. Ace, thank you very much, my friend. You have a super weekend. Us in an elevator for the elevator pitch equals steamy. And Apple confuses me. Well, I finally figured out my iPad. It took a while, but I did. Don't know if I want an iPhone, though. I've been pretty happy with the non-iPhone types that I've had over the years, and I will check it later. I don't blame. That's okay. That sort of stuff can be polarizing, so I shouldn't even get into that. And Pops, will you tell me to stop bitching about the COVID one of these times, please? And Historical Fencing Guild, twitchy thumb. Try take two. How do you suggest balancing actual good guys, Soup's Cap, with the anti-hero focused timeline now? I think the better writers on Superman and Captain America, for instance, in your example, that there's a lot of pressure to become, Superman. One little bit of no one's looking, and he could kill a person. Cap could sever somebody's head with his shield. And part of what makes them amazing is the fact they don't choose to. It is a conscious choice not to take a life. And it takes more skill. It takes more strength of character to not, for Batman to not say, I'm sick of you, Joker, and then kill him like he did in The Dark Knight Returns. In fact, the only part that I enjoyed out of, was it Batman Odyssey by Neil Adams? I think it was a terrible piece of, it was beautiful art, but terrible comic writing. And he's another person that works great with another writer like Denny O'Neil or Roy Thomas. But anyway, he had a part in there where Batman is telling someone that I know I could kill. And if the circumstances dictated it, I would kill. But I know I have a choice because of my training, because of me. I know going into every situation, I have that option, and I choose not to kill. That is my, and I'm thinking, that's it. That's it. That's what separates Batman from the Punisher. The Punisher's main weapon is killing, whereas Batman is not killing and bringing them to justice. See? So anyway, I hope that helps. I hope this has been fun talking about writing. And Skunk Rocker, oh God, can we not today? Seriously, I don't get right now about any of that. Just shut up. This is supposed to be a positive space and not your. It is my soapbox, Skunk, because it's my name on the door. So, but I am going to try to cut it down. I do apologize, right? But it shows how strongly I feel about it. It's affected my life, and I don't have it. And two of my friends right now have it, right? And they're not in a happy space right now. So there. Anyway, Skunk, I love you, Skunk. We rant because we care. And greetings from the State Fairers. Molly Daniels, currently eating an elephant ear and attempting to coax people to buy my books. Have a great time this weekend. Continued success, Molly. And if you're in the Indianapolis area, please see Molly. Then drive down I-70 to I-57, goes down there till you get to exit 55, and then head west on Illinois State Route 16 till you come to Castle Perilous. It goes right to the front door. Anyway, Scott Crocker says, let's talk about some positive stuff. Hey, Brian, I got like 6 or 7 pages done already on the script. It's coming together faster than I ever imagined. Now, that's what we need to hear more of instead of triggering me to talk about current events. No, that's great, Skunk. Seriously, I'm proud of you, man. And you know what? And I give this speech a lot, but I sincerely mean it. Do you realize how special you are, man? I know there's some days you feel down on yourself, but you, by writing those 6 or 7 pages, you're breathing the rarer air now, my friend, because a lot of people say, oh, I want to write a script for a movie. Well, I sure want to write a script for a movie. Oh, wait a second. What's on TV tonight? Oh, that's on too? Well, I don't like that show, but I'll just keep it on because I want the people chattering in the background while I'm playing video games. You know what I mean? You're putting boots to the ground, buddy, and you're getting things done. Proud of you, Skunk. I love you, man. I'm serious. And I love you too, Dory. Good morning. Wow, thank you for being my new Patreon friend. I love you. And please check out Doris Jones' Labors of Love. What a great artist you are. So cool. And you're a cool lady too. So glad you're here. And I meant, have you created characters with the dark past that makes them turn a bad guy or hurting? Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't necessarily make them my heroes. Although in the story I mentioned before, where I had to get into some really, really dark spaces to make these characters come alive, and it's scary to know you know the way there, I say to myself, but you turn them into a hero by offering them redemption. Or, Batman could very well be a villain. He's a vigilante. He's not obeying the law. He is going outside the law to bring justice. And he could be the Punisher with just one little slip, but he's not, and that's what makes him interesting. It's Peter Parker is driven by guilt, and that's why he is Spider-Man. Superman, he doesn't have this guilt, but he's got this positivity, and in the back of his mind, I'm the last Kryptonian, or at least most of the time he is. But yeah, I've done characters of the dark past, and and you also have to have people that are not necessarily nice that the good guy pushes against. Okay. And that's why for every Batman, you have to have a Joker. For every Sherlock Holmes, you have to have a Professor Moriarty. For every Superman, you have to have a Lex Luthor. So yeah, I have done that a lot. And is on a native things about, okay, I do. Thank you, Christian. And we're going to zoom through some of these comments right now. Awesome, Skunk. Jobby Pica, good morning, johnpica.com. Hey there, friends and foes. Happy Friday the 13th. I'm out of Facebook jail. Well, good for you. And let's see what we can do to keep you out of there, except maybe on this show. But anyway. It's good to have you here, John. And John, check out John's Back of the Cereal Box Network. He's got some amazing programming, including the brand new Cryptid Crunch with Willow Schuyler and Keisha Acuff. And also check out tomorrow morning, Back of the Cereal Box, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. Get your cereal on. And the Joker keeps from trying to kill Batman because it's too much fun having him alive. Yeah, exactly. And it's the same thing with like Mr. Mixshetspitalik. He's got these powers that can affect Superman, any Kryptonian, but he's just playing with Superman. Said, not you, Brian. I was talking to somebody else, and that somebody else was trying to make everything political, and let's not come on. Okay, thank you, Skunk. Thank you for clarifying that. I love you, brother. I really do. And congrats, Skunk. Yes, seriously. man, don't stop now. I want to see the final product. I really do, and you can do this. And John B. Pica says this Saturday, the Back of the Zero Box Gang is live at Covington Comic Con, just outside Memphis. We may try to broadcast if we can from comics. Or rather from Castle Perilous in Carbondale, where I'll be at from 10 to 4. Please come see us. And back of the cereal box.fun. I love it. Also, check out impossibles.com. That comic book is coming out soon. I'm so eager to see that. And like, I'm not trying to name names, but I'm not going to be a jerk like that. It's a blanket statement for everybody. Thank you, Skunk. You can be a jerk with me. I've got broad shoulders, man. And we've got 4 minutes and 16 seconds. JohnBPica.com. Thank you, John. And thank you, Ryan Permisson, for sharing. And because Brian is going to say the URLs, but there you go. Well, yeah, there's some people, John, that use this show as a podcast. Now, podcast is a term that's become corrupted lately. We used to be a vlog. Okay. I like to think of it as a broadcast, but a lot of people call shows like this and what you do a podcast now. And I always thought of podcast as simply audio, but a lot of people think it's audio visual, but they turn it on and they listen anyway. But John, that's why I read the URLs, because I care and I want people to get your message into their ears like a warm, soapy hug of love. And good morning, Nevermorning, says Ryan Permisson. How are you? Check out the latest episode of the podcast, Talking Movies on Anchor FM, episode 110. Historical Fencing Guild says, I was referring more to the tone. It's a hard thing to be the guy behind the thou shall not kill, but it isn't right. Guess I want to see more of them doing the right thing, kindness, mercy, etc. That's why I gravitate towards Superman. And here's a guy that knows that he can't slip. 1, because he's so powerful, and 2, because so many people are looking up to him. See, Eric Hawkins says, if Batman was like the Punisher, just think of how many lives would have been saved by killing the Joker. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Batman is as guilty as the Joker. That's a point that's been made in the comics several times. Like, you haven't cacked the Joker. You're just as responsible for him doing this mayhem to Gotham City as he is. And Batman's like, I am not. But anyway, and too much dark in reality. Thank you, Historical Fencing Guild. And morning all, hello from the Desolate Small Press Publisher. Check them out. The newest member of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We're so proud to have him, Joe D. McPhee, 10 p.m. every Saturday night. Check out that's Eastern time. Check out his amazing interviews and broadcasts. He's amazing. We love him. And also check out also the Historical Fencing Guild tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. So, Brian, what time do you have to take cookie therapy? I know when to shut up. We have 2 minutes and 14 seconds, and we will cut off the show there. You'll get an audio when it happens. I have a timer set up. It is that important to me. And subscribe to Nerd Culture Channel for great nerdy content. And if you got books that you want Ryan Permisson to read, you do that thing. You send them to that guy. And yeah, we're getting there. And good day, everyone. Good day to you, Carl. Thank you, John B. Pica. And I keep saying that. I'm going to keep saying it until you do it. If you are doing any kind of podcasting or broadcasting, you need to join Clubhouse and network with like-minded professionals and up your game. I know, and it's on my phone. And I'm such a loser. And see you later, Carl and John B. Pica. It is a podcast, a video podcast. Okay, I can live with that. Thank you, John. See, this is why I look up to you, John. I need this guidance through the wilderness. Damien Waldron says, thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Damien, thank you, man. We'll be talking soon, I promise. Skunkcracker says, oh, well, I better just shut up now. Don't I take cookie to therapy and then feed her afterwards? Me, I'm thinking I'm going to be eating here in a few minutes as soon as I get to the next town. Skunk, bon appetit. Thank you for being here, brother. I do appreciate you so much. And good job, Skunk, on getting things done. Yes, getting stuff done. That's even better. Thank you, Ace Bonnie. And hello, M2S4D. And I'm glad to have you here from Twitch. Hello to you. Welcome to the Madhouse. And spots are open on 2022 to be a guest on, and I quote, live Saturdays at noon on his various channels. And he's also, if you wanted pre-recorded, he can do that, but sign up at calendly.com. And never mind the Furthermore podcast. It's the BKM show starring BKM and friends like Carol Burnett and the Smothered Brothers Comedy Hour, says from the Desolate Small Press Publisher. You got that right, my friend. And welcome to my lap. Here you go. Just in time, to 30 seconds. And Batman and the Joker are the same person. That's why they can't kill each other. That's my theory anyway. John Pica, when the first Tim Burton movie came out, my vote for casting was Gene Simmons. Having just seen Runaway, I wanted him to play both roles. I think he could have done it. And it's Friday the 13th, also a bonus Halloween. Have fun tonight, folks. Watch B-Movies as the Historical Fencing Guild, and watch the Historical Fencing Guild at 8 p.m. tonight on the YouTube, because he's awesome. Thank you, everybody, for the kind words. It's one of the few things I can do while I'm driving is right. I have to use the speech to text anyway, so go take Cookie to PT. Bye. Thank you, Skunk. And with that, let's see, how far are we? And yes, less than 60%, and many keep trying to post my website and it gets blocked. And be well, Nevermorians. And that's a wrap. Thank you. Take care, Cookie. Love you all laters. Love you too, Donna. Be well, Nevermorians. Thank you, Historical Fencing Guild. And after work, everyone have a good day. Angie Dudas, mwah to you. Thank you, everyone, for helping me get this. And so let's get the thank yous out of the way real fast. First of all, thank you to Plasma Fire Graphics. When the look of your book matters to you. For book covers that'll make your work literally fly into the hands of your customers, check out Plasma Fire Graphics. Jeffrey Hayes is great to work with, and he's affordable as heck. Go to his Facebook page and go to plasmafiregraphics.com and check out what he can do and contact him for rates. He's affordable. He's very affordable. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it matters to your readers. We're also brought to you, thank you, Plasma Fire Graphics, for sponsoring today's show, and to you, Amy Hale, author amyhale.com. Also check her out on Amazon. You want to get some good reading? Check out author Amy Hale. It'll perk her up. She's way under the weather right now. She's got the cooties. The cooties 19. But anyway, we were promoting her right now to help her sales right now because she cannot promote for herself. So please check it out. And please, she's one of us. She's part of the Rising Tide. Please pick up a book from her from Amazon today. It's the short and sassy storyteller, Amy Hale. And also go sign up for her newsletter at authoramyhale.com. Also CKOEPP.com. Check out Cindy Kep's great newsletter. We got to mention her. And TGIF to the Freaky Fuzzy Fez Man, all the fantastic Friday mornings. Count your blessings. As always, Bill Sarton, thank you for being here, brother. And Bill, go ahead and put your promo for your stuff. Keep promoing while I'm gone. And Glenn Fleming, great show, Brian. Thank you, brother, for making it here and making it so. See you later. Let me know what you think about the promo. I know I'm going to love it. And Carl Wisman says, don't forget to like on your way out. That's right. Whether you're watching live or on the repeats. Thank you, Carl Witzman. Please give this video a like if you're on YouTube. Also, thank you to my 570 plus subscribers and growing. Please also, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to this channel. We've got some new content, a new show coming up soon from me. And I think you're going to dig it. It'll be worth your time to watch. And I think that's it. And don't forget, tonight's the Green Room with Carl. And at around 7:30 Central or Eastern time. And the Historical Fencing Guild at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Also, some other thank yous. Thank you to the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. 7 days a week of entertainment and information. Check out our stuff and like our Facebook page. You'll be glad you did. And I love our Patreon people. Thank you to everyone who is supporting the show financially. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can directly support your favorite creators. And I hope I'm one of them. And even $1 a month gets you something. So check out what rewards we offer for your support at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And with that, we are out of here. Thank you, everyone, for understanding. We will be back at our regular time, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. on Monday morning for Never Mind the Furthermore, and we'll have news on how today went, how Carbondale, how our visit to Castle Perilous from 10 to 2 tomorrow went for free comic book day. And support your local comic shop when you're in there. Don't just grab the free stuff. Buy something, for God's sakes. It costs money to get those free things, and this is the way you keep their doors open for when you want your favorite funny books. So anyone who just takes the free comics and leaves,
How dare you?
exactly, Greta, you tell them. Anyway, folks, let me get to where I need to be, and I thank each and every one of you for being here and for understanding. We will see you Monday, and hopefully we'll see you in Carbondale tomorrow from 10 to 2 Central Time. Please come see us. Cookie and I would love to be safe as we greet each other. Anyway, folks, as always, thank you for being here. Thank you for understanding, and stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great weekend, everyone. Happy free comic book day. See you Monday morning. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. If you enjoyed any part of this show, please give it a like or a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Nevermind the Furthermore.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there, on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, indievolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
Secrets, trust, worth. The bond between souls intertwined within otherworldly intrigue. Michaela Jade brings forth the Elite Warrior series, a collection of dark fantasy romance novels set in a twisted world where power lusts in the hearts of men, and devotion seduces the souls of women. Warrior's Secret, Warrior's Trust, and Warrior's Worth. Available now at authormichaelajade.com.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Koepp at CKOEPP.com today.
From author Brian K. Morris comes an epic tale of armor forged by a god, a hero forged by courage, and an ancient menace poised to re-emerge and threaten our world. Volcana, Rebirth of the Champion, is available on Amazon.com. Get your copy today.